chilling tales for dark nights.
They Die Nameless by Aaron Shotwell. Performed by Otis Jiry. My name is My name is My name is Aim. I've been writing these words over and over for the past 12 hours, writing to remind myself. Yet no matter how many times I try to write it, it never lasts through the final stroke of the pen. I suspect it won't be long before the memory fades as well. I just hope this journal finds its way into someone's hands. Anyone's hands. Please, whoever you are, please remember me. June 5th, 1964. Since before my university years, I have been fascinated by ancient Egypt, the cradle of civilization where gods and empires rose from untamed sands. These stories of our beginnings lay buried in silent tombs for thousands of years. The Valley of the Kings held answers to many mysteries, and sometimes new mysteries for the finding. A wealth of revelations and surprises, and its allure drew me to the life of a historian many years ago. Above and beyond the profession, unveiling these wonders has been my greatest pleasure. To that end, today is a momentous day for my career. Until today, my research had been limited to secondary sources. As one might imagine, gaining access to original texts and artifacts can be a challenge. Yet I have the greatest fortune of receiving a rare donation concerning my most recent subject of intrigue, courtesy of a generous private collector. Unfortunately, for the sake of privacy, he wishes to retain anonymity in all publications. Still, though I cannot credit him for his contribution, I am most grateful. My current work involves the end of the 18th dynasty, family line of Akhenaten, and his controversial rejection of the old pantheon. Their reign is generally accepted to have ended with the death of his son, Tutankhamun. However, the contents of the boy king's burial chamber would suggest otherwise, namely the two fetuses buried alongside of him, each in its own sarcophagus. One died in what appeared to be its 7th month of prenatal development, the other in its 5th. Their identities and the causes of their miscarriage are, as of yet, unknown. My anonymous benefactor will be supplying me with those very same sarcophagi. Per request, he has sent them to my office at the University of Southampton. Hopefully, their examination will provide me with a valuable lead in answering these questions once and for all. The package will arrive by month's end, and I am eager to begin. June 29th, 1964. The package arrived this morning, though in a rather precarious state, I must say. Left unattended at my office door rather than the security desk as requested. The package itself was less than sturdy, hardly adequate protection for such priceless treasures. I'll be sure to voice my concern to the delivery company in the near future. The artifacts are no worse for wear, however, and they are beautiful indeed. My benefactor kept them pristine, clearly not in a dusty storage facility, as I might have imagined. 2 tiny sarcophagi, adorned in black and gold, each containing an even smaller sarcophagus, like Russian nesting dolls, and their shriveled remains would have rested therein. I had expected them to be brittle, yet they weathered the ages with surprising integrity. Unfortunately, the bodies themselves are unavailable to me. They are closely guarded at another facility, granting strictly limited access, and rightly so. Regardless, the coffins alone are a promising starting point in my research all the same. I will begin my work at once. July 10th, 1964. The coffins have been in my possession for over a week now, and they provide more questions than answers. The photographs I had seen before their arrival showed no obvious signs of identity, so I suspected a more careful examination would be necessary. Yet they've yielded nothing. No names, of course. No epithets, no prayers, no symbols of protection. Not even the smallest indication of ritualistic practice concerning such deaths. That these fetuses were embalmed and entombed in royal fashion, yet put to rest with no marks of distinction, is a confounding enigma. I can only assume that they were Tutankhamun's miscarried children, based on how near they were found to his resting place. And even that poorly supported conclusion lends no clue to the circumstances surrounding their deaths. Clearly, these two were of great importance. Their bodies were treated with the same care as a king. Why then would they die nameless? Why would it be permitted? This is no folly of incompetence or neglect. No, I can say with confidence that they were deliberately omitted. How very puzzling. July 23rd, 1964. At the height of my frustration, I have made an astonishing discovery. To be honest, I am surprised that I am the first to notice it, or at least the first to mention it. At the foot of one of the inner sarcophagi, near the edge of the lip beneath the lid, I found a very fine, nearly undetectable slit in the clay. It could easily be mistaken for a stress fracture, and I almost dismissed it as such. However, when I adjusted my desk lamp, that's when I saw it. Something deep in the slit, reflecting the faintest touch of light. After probing with a needle and a pair of tweezers, I was able to extract a small, tightly folded piece of papyrus reed parchment. Of course, it did not age as well as the clay sarcophagus, made thin and weak at its ancient seams. Keeping it intact whilst unfolding was a delicate and trying task, yet mostly successful. The last bit adheres to itself rather strongly and with evident purpose. The ink is quite faded, but I have been able to discern the following. Let their names die with them, sealed in earth and forgotten. They were called. Doubtless the last bit conceals what would have been their names in life had they survived. Though risky, I may be able to undo the last few folds with the careful application of a razor blade and a non-corrosive solvent. But I must use caution, as this could very well be the key to solving this riddle, thereby documenting a solid conclusion to an important period in Egypt's history. July 24th, 1964. I've been staring at this blank page for a while now, trying to find the words to describe what I experienced last night. It sounds ludicrous, no matter how I think to phrase it, so I've been trying to rationalize it. It may be due to lack of sleep or perhaps mounting frustration, perhaps oncoming sickness or feverish hallucinations. I am uncertain, but I cannot fathom the alternative. Yet, for all my reasoning, I cannot dismiss the chill crawling over my skin. The last of the parchment's folds gave more easily than I expected, requiring very little pressure at all, and they revealed what I now struggle to explain. I understood the characters that I saw. I understood their meanings and uses individually. I understood the sounds they should have made. But together, As I saw them in that state, they evoked no thought, only a dense fog of confusion, and any semblance of meaning dissolved from my mind the moment I looked away. Even as I attempted to copy the characters I saw, to put them to paper, I found that I was unable. I understood the lines that composed them, yet I could not move my hand to recreate them. It is as though these words, these names, refused to be repeated. Yet I unfolded the last bit. I swear that I felt a gust of cold air rush over me. I heard a wordless whisper in my ear calling me. It's a peculiar feeling, and as I labor to overcome it, I feel something dreadful surrounding these names. Something dark. What in the world have I disturbed? August 12th, 1964. I have ceased my study. I would return the artifacts to my benefactor if they did not frighten me so. To be in the same room, to see them sitting atop my desk as I stand at a distance is unbearable. The parchment is nowhere to be found, and for that I am grateful. I dare not set eyes upon those characters again, for just the one glance will certainly haunt me for life as it is. I've had horrible, relentless visions since the night I unveiled them, visions of suffering and regret. I will not set foot in that office again, not while those terrible things remain. I will be leaving the city tonight. I do not know where I'll go, but I am compelled to flee. I cannot abide this place. It's been tainted. I saw the jackal last night. He spoke of false gods. October 18th, 1964. I'm running now. Not home or anywhere specific, just away. I have to keep moving or they'll find me again. The two little girls with silver crowns watching from the darkness. Wherever I go, they find me, and the shadows rattle like scarabs beneath their feet. Always the smell of sand in the wind, and they appear before me. They tell me they bring the wrath of the lion, the justice of Sekhmet. They tell me their names, a sound my mind cannot understand or tolerate. A sound not for the living. I must run. The names torment me. No gods before Ra. As are his faithful, so is the fate of Aiden. December 6th, 1964. I returned to the university today, perhaps in the hopes that I may appease the dead, that I may somehow give their names back to the void, and the unborn daughters might leave me in peace. I returned as a stranger. Colleagues had forgotten my name, old friends had forgotten my face, and my office, where my curse began, had never existed. In its place, I found nothing more than a wall connecting the rooms that once sat to its left and right. A wall yellowed with the same age as the building itself. I'll find no asylum here. I will move on, but I grow weary, and the Lion Woman awaits my resignation. May 30th, 1965. The months have crawled by, stripping away my former life little by little. I am without a home. I live in my car and I steal to survive. Nobody seems to notice me anymore. They forget me as quickly as they see me. Nobody listens to my cries for help, and I sometimes believe they may not even hear my voice. I press on through the streets as a broken man, trudging more than walking, and they move past me without a second glance. My parents no longer know me. They never had a son. I have become a ghost, a lost cause with nowhere left to turn. My car broke down 2 days ago. No time to find another. No time to stop. I flee on foot. I sleep only where I lose consciousness. I pray they don't take me in my sleep. And I count my blessings when I wake where I collapse. But I always see them waiting for me in the last moments of dusk before sunrise. I've taken shelter in a sewage tunnel for the night, but this is where I will likely find my final rest. I've grown too tired to stand. I cannot go on. I await my judgment. May 31st, 1965. When the sun last set, Aiton's gaze turned from me as it did from them. The boy king came to me, adorned in his burial garb, and he spoke with the hiss of the cobra. He gave me the names of his daughters, and with them an understanding. To know faith in Aiton is to know the anger of Ra. To know Aiton's faithful is to know the wrath of Sekhmet. To remember the banished ones is to face the void. And so, in exchange for their names, he took my own. This will be my last entry. Here, on this page, I leave my last words to the world, though they may never be known. Each letter's ink lifts from the page like ash on a breeze. And as I lay here dying, slowly collapsing to dust, without the essence of a self, I cannot help but reach out to another in vain. I cannot help but try to leave a memory. Please remember me. My name is...
Chilling tales for dark nights.